So, here I am, exercising in the park. Let's go. Anyway, the weather has been beautiful lately. It is finally summertime here. The sun is shining, the trees are happy, the birds are chirping, the grass is green, and I can't be working out inside these days. So, I thought I would film a workout, show you guys what I'm doing, and this is going to be the first of 3 videos total in which I show my current approach to training. So today was push and a bit of legs, but I will get into the details of that a bit more in a moment. First, I just want to say a couple things about my general approach to training. Right now I'm doing kind of a high frequency thing where I'm just basically working out every single day. And that's for a couple of reasons. One is just that it's so beautiful out, that every single day I want to be outside in the parks. And then the second element is that this high frequency training allows me to not to be training for hours and hours and hours. This style of training for me is inspired a lot by K Bogues, the YouTube channel, and he talks about how one of the main benefits of the high frequency approach is spending less time per day working out. Basically, I'm doing the same volume that I would be doing if I had only trained 3 or 4 days a week and just had longer sessions. But when I break that same amount of volume up throughout the week, then the average session length really goes down. And that can go down dramatically if I needed to. I could get a session done in like literally 15 minutes if I needed to by just cutting the accessories and the abs. So to go along with this higher frequency approach to training, the split that I found is the most logical for me personally is kind of a modified push-pull legs program, where every day I pick 2 of those 3 muscle groups and I hit one of them harder where I take things closer to failure for at least 2 sets, and then the other muscle group is generally kept a bit lighter in terms of intensity, and I'm just focusing more on getting volume in. I hit abs every day, just leg raises, and then what you'll see in the next clip is kind of the final modification to the push-pull legs program for me. So I did about 10 minutes of this weird frog pose hold. And so for every muscle group, push, pull, every kind of movement pattern, I've picked like a corresponding skill. So I want to learn pike press to handstand for push. I wanted to learn a ring muscle up for pull, but I ended up getting that way too quickly, so I might have to think of a new goal. And then for legs, I'm focused a bit more on mobility and just movement, quality of movement. So my goal there is to really dial in my pistol squats. I can do them assisted, but my hip and ankle mobility is still a limiting factor there. So my end goal is to be able to bang out sets of pistol squats, weighted pistol squats, and that just serves the kind of mobility and movement focused goals that I have right now for legs. So after jumping rope and doing the frog pose practice, I moved into pike push-ups. Here I did 2 sets to failure. As you can see in the first one I get 8, in the second one I get 6 reps, and then I had to move my feet back a little bit to get 2 more reps to failure, or to hit my 8 target. And then at the end I do a rest pause style of training in order to hit my ultimate daily rep target for pike push-ups, which is 30 reps. So I use this rep target for all of my main compound upper body movements, so pike push-ups, dips, and pull-ups. And it's an approach I've taken from the Built Simple YouTube channel, and Marcus, I think the guy's name is. So what I do is my max reps on pike push-ups in this case is 10, and then I multiplied that by 3 to get my rep target. So every session where I do pike push-ups, I'm aiming to get 30 reps. And in this case, that was done with 2 sets taken to failure, 2 sets of 8, and then 3 sets in a rest pause style where I hit 5 reps, then rested for a moment, then hit another 5 reps, then rested for a moment, then hit 4 reps to hit my 30 rep target. And this rep target idea allows me to make progress over time. After a month or so of doing a certain amount of reps, then you can either add 5 reps, say, to your daily total, or you can just retest your max and recalculate your daily rep target. Now, lower body, I take a slightly different approach. Because my goal is pistol squats, I'm really only doing two main movements for lower body, the pistol squat or pistol squat regressions, and Cossack squats. So here you see me doing Cossack squats, focusing on opening up the hips and the ankles. But here I don't have a specific rep target because I'm not really trying to progressively overload the Cossack squats in a rep or weight or volume sense. I'm trying to get into better ranges of motion, have better mobility, so the goals here are slightly different. That being said, I do still include some hard, more hypertrophy-focused leg training, but those movements I treat more as accessories. So after my main kind of mobility-focused pistol squats or Cossack squats, then I might do something like a box step-up with weight in my hands or B-stance squats with dumbbells. But yeah, as I said, those are more kind of accessory movements for me in the same category as what you see me doing here now, these banded face pulls for rear delts. So the accessory movements I did today were these, as well as ring tricep extensions and lateral delt side raises. I like to do both of my kind of rear delt and side delt movements on the same day, and then of course I combine my arm movement with the corresponding push or pull. So on a pull day I'll do biceps, and on a push day I'll do triceps. And all these accessory movements I generally do 2 sets to failure. So these days, I would say the key word to describe the philosophy behind the way I train is flexibility. And this is really flexibility in all respects, from the equipment I have at my disposal to the time that I'm able to commit to a workout. All of it can be varied, and the most important thing for me is hanging on to the core movement patterns, so doing a push or a pull or a leg to a high level of intensity, and then picking one other movement pattern to round out the workout. And the accessories for me are really just a bonus. I'll get them in more days than I won't, but if I'm ever in a pinch or there's a week where I don't have time for it, I'm still able to get my main movements in, and that allows me to be incredibly consistent over long periods of time. Now, this is definitely not the only way to train. In the past, I've also been a big fan of 3-day-a-week full body sessions. But this is what I'm enjoying doing right now in the summertime, when the weather's nice, when I want to be outside every day anyway, and when I want to have short workouts so that I have time to do other things. This high-frequency push-pull legs modified split with some skill-based practice in there is, I think, a great option. I'm really enjoying it. It's a lot of fun, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone who's interested. So in the coming days, I'll put up an example of a pull workout and a leg workout, and yeah, then that'll basically be the whole picture of what I'm doing these days. And so my final message is get your ass outside, go to a park, touch grass, work out in the sun, and most importantly, enjoy your summer. Find balance and find a routine that allows you to be consistent, but also to be flexible and to nurture those other important parts of our lives that we don't want to sacrifice in order to spend hours and hours and hours in fluorescent lit gyms. So after this set, I got a little snack in and enjoyed this beautiful green scenery. And that was that. Peace.